So your memory starts to dip. Your ability to function will start to go down slowly at 0.05 blood alcohol level. And what does this mean to us as individuals? When you're having that situation, you can't sleep very well, it starts to affect how you function. And if you see someone that is intoxicated, how do they behave? Can they have meaningful conversation? Absolutely not. And they even get a little bit aggressive in their approach. You know why? Because when you are sleep deprived, it activates a part of your brain called amygdala. It's a component of the limbic system that is responsible for emotional regulation. And when you don't sleep, you keep cortisol continue to drip, drip, drip. And that activates amygdala that makes you to be emotionally dysregulated. And that is why it is very important that we prioritize our sleep. In my local language, Yoruba language, it says something. Ìlera L'O. What does that mean? Meaning your health is your wealth. No matter how much money you have in the bank or how many properties that you own, if your health is not good, you're as poor as a rat in the church. That's the way it is, because we have to look at our health as more important than any other thing that we look at. And how are we going to connect sleep deprivation to anxiety? I talked about something earlier, like if you are not sleeping very well, the way you process things, your memory starts to dip, right? So if you're in a social relationship, you are having a conversation and you cannot concentrate, do you think that person want to be around you again? I don't think so. Because if I'm talking to you, you're probably falling asleep, or you can't even remember exactly what I said. I'm going to take you as someone that is not serious, that you don't want to talk to me. Again, not sleeping good, it could lead to a situation where you are emotionally dysregulated, meaning you get angry very easily. And someone that is highly irritable as a result of sleep would not want to be around anyone that is having a good day. Even at your job, you start now to perform very well. And when the level of performance at your role, either as a parent, as a worker, or what have you in your community, when you start to struggle with that because of sleep deprivation, it leads to anxiety. Because there's something we call role strain at that point in time. You cannot perform your role as a parent, as a wife, as a husband, or as a community member. Then you'll be on the edge every time. And being on the edge every time, what people usually do, they don't seek help. They want to self-medicate. So what do? Some people will use alcohol as a measure to manage their sleep problem, right? They start drinking. Maybe the first night you drank a bottle, you were able to fall asleep. But guess what? There's something we call a paradoxical effect of alcohol on the body. When you drink one bottle, maybe you get like 3-4 hours of sleep. You wake up again. You can't sleep. What are you going to do? You go to the same thing that worked for you, right? You get one more bottle. And if you start to do that every night, you are leading yourself into a place of darkness, because that's going to lead to addiction and some other health problems that we will not go into today. That is why I say, if there's anything that you're going to take away from today's presentation, it is to learn how to prioritize our sleep. Moving on, with the anxiety, you start having this dip in performance. You're on the edge every time. You can't concentrate. You can't focus. You can't even be around there for your own grandchildren or your husband or your wife. And that will lead to a mood disorder where you start having depressed mood, lack of interest in activities, because you know you can concentrate and you don't want to go to your work anymore. Everything starts to be not meaningful anymore. And this is a situation that we are trying to prevent by making sure we prioritize our sleep. And let me not confuse everybody. We all as individuals, we don't require the same level of sleep. Scientific studies have established there are some people that are short sleepers, and there are some individuals that they need more hours of sleep. But what is the foundation? What is the basic recommendation for sleep? And as we have it, we have a default as created by God. You'll be surprised that God is so interested in our sleep. That's why He made 24 hours in a day, right? If we divide those into 3, we will get 8, 8, and 8. Guess what? God is telling us, get 8 hours of sleep, go work hard, hustle for 8 hours, and spend 8 hours doing meaningful things that we need to have, and knowing and understanding how it can affect our ultimate functioning. Then we'll start to prioritize it. And I hate to break this to you, to my senior citizens out here. I know one thing that's keeping you guys awake right now. This is the day of what you call it, Department of Government Efficiency, and we're hearing something about Social Security is being cut down. I know that's a rumor, but they're not going to do that to our Social Security, people. But the point is, just hearing that negative news is something that could keep our senior citizens that have worked so hard and deprive them of their sleep, because you are on a limited income. And if getting the news like, oh, they're not going to pay me my whatever Social Security check next month, that could start to affect your sleep. But there are things we could do to positively manage the issues that we have in life so we do not lose our sleep. Next slide. So what are the things that we could do? A few things over here. I know most of us have been doing it already, but it's just a reminder to us that when you have this boost of serotonin making you feel good about what you just did, and your mood will be elevated. Same thing happens when you spend time with people that you love, that you share with them, you go and exercise or physical activity together. It helps to release oxytocin. Just about the same thing when you have a little child that is being nursed by his or her mom. The bond over there is the same thing, having meaningful relationship with people that you care about. And talking about meaningful relationship, as Colleen mentioned earlier, when we don't have good friends or people that really care for us, we feel lonely. And there are several studies that establish that a lot of our senior citizens, they go through loneliness. And loneliness has contributed to maladaptive coping mechanism. And what do I mean by that? Drinking alcohol, because they are lonely, there's nobody to talk to, they need to drink to sleep. Perhaps using drugs, or even increasing suicide rate among senior citizens. And we don't want that to be happening. And that is why we are saying, take your sleep, prioritize your sleep, and create a meaningful relationship. This will help to optimize your mental well-being. And gratitude. I don't know if there's anyone in here that's been to my office. There's something that I always put at my wall. Gratitude. I am grateful for just being alive. I'm grateful for it. One of the things that really leads to stress among not just the old, but everyone, is when we are stressed about some things in life, we often forget about good things that we have in our life. Someone can have $10 million in their account and lose $500, and they focus on that $500, forgetting that they had 10 million somewhere. That is how we are as individuals. We are naturally ungrateful. But we have to be reminded to be grateful. When things bad happen, or when bad things happen to us, it doesn't mean God doesn't love us. But it's just a checking point for us that, hey, we need to recycle our emotions. Right? Keep your feet flat on the floor. We're going to do what we call mindfulness breathing to get ready for the next session. If you feel safe where you are, join me to close your eyes. But if you don't feel safe, it is okay. I will protect you. But close your eyes and take a nice deep breath through your nose. Hold it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it out slowly through your mouth. We're going to take a nice deep breath again through your nose. Hold it in and let it out slowly through your mouth. One more time. Breathe in, hold it in, and slowly out through your mouth. You can open your eyes right now. So when you are under immense stress or you are struggling, this is one thing that you can do with no side effect, and I would encourage you, please, to do it. God bless you, and God bless everybody here. Thank you so much.